but let's talk specifically Texas and Ohio. If any of those shooters were black, do you think there would be an answer to gun violence? Like, do you think the legislators and the powers that be, and there were black folks coming into public areas gunning down white folks or just general citizens, and I'm not talking about each other, that's acceptable. You know, that's an accepted norm. Let's just go ahead and can we all agree on that? Black folks killing black folks is an accepted norm, and it's often celebrated by those who historically did those jobs, but now it's easier because they hit that autopilot switch. So black folks killing black folks it's like we can't figure it out. Let's just make it a funding mechanism. Let's get tough on crime, and let's do law and order, and let's build a prison industrial complex, and let's buttress up the mortuary businesses, and let's all continue to say that we don't know what we can do, so why don't we just lock those up that we can and bury the others, but there's no real solution to that because that's how those folks are. If this were, let's say immigrants, let's say immigrants. I'm even talking legal. I'm not even getting into this because I don't believe any person is illegal. But I will say non-citizen. But I'm not even going to talk about a non-citizen. What if these were citizens that were Mexican that all of a sudden built the tradition of, well, I'm going to go up into Walmart, or I'm going to go into the mall, or I'm going to go into a particular area, and I'm going to let it rip. I'm going to go to this concert and let them fly. Do you think that it would be more than thoughts and prayers? Do you think? Do you think it would be more than thoughts and prayers if they were Mexicans or Africans or Asians or anybody but white boys who perhaps have the opportunity to be anything they want to be in this society? And they chose the active shooter. I'm the active shooter. Do you think they would? Do you think that they would be able to figure something out if it was anybody else but white boys? And if you say yes, then you've got to buy into the fact that if that is, there would be a different response if it was someone else as it relates to someone else and they were all these so-called citizens of these United States. If there's a disparate kind of approach to some as opposed to others, then what does that say about the real will to push back this culture of mass shootings? Yeah, I remember. Listen, I remember the DC sniper. You see, Jonathan, this is where the distinction comes in. I remember the DC sniper. That's handled. It did not become a tradition. We found it, we rooted it out, and most folks don't know anything about that. Mass shooters, white boys shooting up schools and malls, and not only boys, men shooting up just boo, 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 boo. Is there a war on that? Like, remember there was a war on drugs, there's a war on crime, there was, in other words, a war on black folks, a war on these parts of town. Is there a war on mass shooters? Is there? Exactly, Skylar. Even if it was the disabled community, what if the disabled community just started? We can shut all this down except for when it is the folks in power and when it's their sons and when it is their nephews and when it's their dads and when it is their brothers. Then it's a mental problem. And maybe it is a mental problem. Maybe they're saying on one side that with all this access you have, something has to be mentally wrong with you not to get on our side and do what you're doing even on a larger scale, but do it through policy. There's no need for you to pick up a weapon and do that. Come on over here, son. I'll show you how we do this legally. You can have all this, you can have all of the stuff that you're wanting to achieve without terrorizing our local communities. But is there a war on mass shootings? Is there a war on mass shootings? Not that I can see. Maybe there is. Maybe there is, but I haven't seen it.